Peace and welcome everyone. In this video, we'll be looking at Islam and Muslim as Quranic terms. This will be a general overview of Quranic usage. In future videos, we'll do a deeper dive into aspects and levels of meaning. For the most part in this discussion, I won't be translating the words Islam, Muslim, and Deen. However, these are the generally accepted translations of those words. Islam is a verbal noun, that is, a noun denoting an action, and it's usually translated as submission or surrender. Muslim is an active participle, that is, one who does the action denoted by the word Islam. Deen is also a noun that's usually translated as religion. The Arabic root sin lam mim, represented by SLM in English, occurs in the Quran 140 times. Of those, it occurs 22 times as the form for verb aslama in various conjugations, 8 times as the form for verbal noun Islam, and 41 times as the form for active participle Muslim in various forms. You can find a complete list of occurrences at corpus.quran.com. I'll put a link in the discussion section. Looking at the terms Deen and Islam together is very important because the Quran defines the Deen as the Islam, or al-Islam. In 3:19 we read, "Indeed, the Deen with God is the Islam. Those who were given the book did not disagree until after knowledge came to them, out of envy between them." 385 reads, "Whoever seeks a Deen other than the Islam, it will never be accepted from them, and in the hereafter they will be among the losers." And in 5:3 we read, "Today I have perfected your Deen for you, and have completed my blessing upon you, and have chosen the Islam to be your Deen." I realize that using the definite article the English definite article, with Islam in this context sounds a bit awkward, but I do it because in the Arabic the term is al-Islam, so Islam in this case carries the definite article. And it's this use of Islam with the definite article in Arabic that leads Muslims to think that the only religion acceptable to God is Islam as they understand it. That is, Islam as they believe it was inherited from the Prophet Muhammad and his companions. But what else does the Quran tell us about the Deen? We see in Quran 42:13, "He has ordained for you the Deen that he decreed for Noah, and what we have inspired to you, and what we decreed for Abraham and Moses and Jesus. You shall establish the Deen and do not divide into factions." What you're inviting the idolaters to is hard for them. God draws to himself whomever is willing, and guides to himself anyone who turns to him. When we add the verb aslama, as used in the Quran, to our discussion, we find that all of the prophets are described as having done this action. Not only all of the prophets, but their followers. And additionally, we find that Noah was commanded to be among the Muslims. It's this very general usage of Islam and Muslim in the Quran that led Fred Donner to conclude that Muhammad and the community of believers around him was, and I quote, "a strongly monotheistic, intensely pietistic, and ecumenical or confessionally open religious movement that enjoined people who were not already monotheists to recognize God's oneness, and enjoined all monotheists to live in strict observance of the law that God had repeatedly revealed to mankind, whether in the form of the Torah, the Gospels, or the Quran." Donner, Muhammad and the Believers, page 75. What are your thoughts on this topic? What other Quranic verses do you consider relevant? Please add your thoughts, comments, and questions in the discussion section.